and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association and the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports and Gaming Channel from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to Triple P on the Blue Hedgehog TV. Now here's the voice of the PCSRA, Mr. Daniel Voiles.
Welcome to the Dusted Desert edition of Triple P. I'm Daniel Voiles, your host of this great show, as we're ready to talk about things that have happened this weekend from the country of Saudi Arabia, the Phoenix weekend, as well as the IndyCar weekend itself. We're looking forward to a fun show here for you tonight as of this taping. If you're watching this at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We are live because I just got home from doing this amazing, awesome broadcast. Nevertheless, our expert panel will be here to talk about our fun race we had here this weekend, including what in the world did we get ourselves into as far as our dictionary fun is concerned. Just a couple of announcements before I get started. If you're seeing all of the schedule deal, I'm sorry I hadn't had a chance to get reactions for the Cup Series, but I will get it eventually, so don't worry. It will be taken care of. It's going to be... we'll make sure everybody... gets it done, as I don't know what is up with Discord. Discord is now being a drunken hyena, so let me fix that real quickly. The PCSRA NEPA Filter Pro Series that was scheduled for next week, as I said, if you didn't watch my announcement video, is postponed until, honestly, I don't know when, because with me having like 4 or 5 shifts a week, it takes away the free time to get everything done, and with personal life that I need to take care of as far as myself is concerned, I'm just not going to have the time to get that series done. Is it going to be canceled? I don't think so. I just hadn't had the time to get any racing recorded for that series because I'm trying to get the Diva stuff taken care of, try to get their seasons finished up as soon as possible. I'm going to try to get everything taken care of, but like I said, if we cannot get it done in a proper manner, then I will just call I will just call this I will just call the series off and not even bother about next season. So we're just going to have to wait and see what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks as far as that is concerned. WWE 2K24 videos are coming out next week. So we have Monday Night Raw next Monday. That'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. NXT also will be out at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And and Friday Night SmackDown will be out at probably going to be at like 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because I don't know if we have any racing next week. Let me actually look at the motorsports calendar, so that way I'm not derping on stuff and all that yada yada yada. So let me see here. Yeah, we don't have any racing on next, or we don't have anything next Friday, so I will probably have it, like I said, at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, like Fox always has it. So all the wrestling stuff will come out at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on those days. If there's any special wrestling deals I have for 2K24, it will be out on that specific day because I'm just going to follow the schedule as planned. And hope you guys are looking forward to that as far as I'm concerned. So, yes. Let's see here. Let me tell it. Sorry about that. I've been coughing and I need to take a drink of water. If not, I'm going to choke myself to damn death because this damn cough is getting annoying. So there we go. And of course, we don't have any damn ice because all the ice gets is probably we're going to have to leave the ice machine alone because I don't know why we don't have any ice. But yeah, so that's all the announcements I have. If I have any other announcements that's coming up, I will let you guys know. I'm supposed to go to Texas in April. I don't know when I'm going to be back for any reactions. Let me actually tell you the date. The date is April the 13th. So, let me see. Let me see if there's any. And if I could stop choking myself to death, that would be fantastic. Just found out MotoGP's weekend in Argentina got canceled. They didn't give us the reason why. That would be during the Texas weekend. That would be probably for the Xfinity race, the Cup race, and also the Truck Series race, also Formula E and all that. And yeah, so on that weekend, we're still going to have the show. However, if I'm down there at Texas Motor Speedway on April the 13th, which is more than likely it's going to happen, there will not be a race reaction because I'm at the track. So as far as that is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, that's something important. So if you don't see a reaction on the 13th, it's because I'm in Texas with my buddy Andrew. So yeah. So anyway, while I'm waiting for the I'm waiting for the panelists to get here. I'm going to go ahead quickly solo. I'm going to recap solo the race weekends that we had, which are, if I could stop choking to death, which this cough will not let me stop choking to death. As I said, we're going to recap Saudi Arabia, St. Pete, rate the weekend. Disclaimer, if you did not see the first part of the recap of St. Pete from the EMSA podcast, that was out yesterday. You can click the link in the top right-hand corner. So we'll talk about Saudi Arabia, St. Pete, rate the weekend, look at the global standings, look ahead to Sao Paulo E-Prix, predictions there. Then we're going to recap Phoenix, rate the weekend, go over the LTR points, look ahead to Bristol, predictions, and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to start first with the If I could stop choking myself to death, that would be fantastic. As I can't stop choking. And also, if you heard my house manager interrupt me while I was doing the intro, I do apologize about that. That's like a bad time to interrupt me right in the middle of an intro for a series I need to cover. Please and thank you. No more interruptions. But does my house manager care? No. So, anyway, let's get right into the nature, starting with the F1 race. Before the race even began, Carlos Sainz was ruled out for the rest of the weekend after having surgery in a Saudi Arabian hospital for his appendix. Ollie Behrman, who had the car on the pole for F2 and all that, withdrew from the weekend in F2. So it sucks, but you know what? It's okay with me. So yeah, that was how it went. As far as that's concerned. On the formation lap, Pierre Gasly lost sixth gear and unfortunately had to retire due to a broken gearbox. Lance Stroll brought out the only safety car after he locked up going into that fast left-hander that's on the other side of turns 1 and 2. I think that's like turn 22 or something like that. clips the wall into the Armco. He was all right. The car was not, and it brought out a safety car, as usual. Excuse me. Then Sergio Perez got a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe pit release, so that didn't do Sergio Perez any bit of good. But other than that, the race was okay as far as that's concerned. And in the end of the day, Max Verstappen goes 2 for 2 as he takes the Saudi Arabian GP on a Saturday. So, yeah. So the top 10 results for the F1 race were as follows. Max Verstappen, the winner. Sergio Perez, second. Charles Leclerc got third. Oscar Piastri, fourth. Fernando Alonso, fifth. George Russell in sixth. Ollie Behrman, in his F1 debut, gets seventh, subbing in for the recovering Carlos Sainz. We're not sure if Sainz will be racing in 2 weeks' time in Melbourne, Australia. We're just going to have to wait and see. Lando Norris finished 8th. Lewis Hamilton 9th. Nico Hulkenberg finished 10th. 18 drivers finished the race on track. 12 were on the lead lap. And Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly never saw the checker flag and finished out of the race. So that is a tough break for those two drivers. Then we go to the IndyCar race that took place on Sunday for the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. The race was really interesting. The race finally got into a calm rhythm because 12 months ago they all wrecked on lap number 1. First full course caution came out when Marcus Armstrong got loose, got a little too hot going into the left-hander right before the chicane in that hairpin corner, which is before the final 3 corners. On lap 25, he tried to save it, clipped the tire wall. His car came to a stop, and that brought out a full course caution as a result. Stingray Robb overshot turn number 1 on lap number 33 just after the restart. He couldn't get his car refired. That also brought out a full course caution in the process. Marcus Ericsson had a mechanical problem, and it was sadly terminal. So did Roman Grosjean, the 77, who, by the way, was given a penalty after he turned Linus Lundqvist into the tire wall. That, by the way, brought out our third and final full course caution, but Grosjean had bigger problems, and like SVG, who would have had a penalty, he said, screw it, I'm just going to park it, and that was all she wrote. At the end of the day, Joseph Newgarden pulled away and captured the win in the IndyCar season debut. The top 10 results for that series. Joseph Newgarden, the winner. Pato O'Ward finished second. Scotty McLaughlin got third. Will Power fourth. Colton Herta fifth. Alex Palou sixth. Felix Rosenqvist seventh. Eighth was Alexander Rossi. Ninth was Scott Dixon. And Renus VK complete the top 10. 20 cars finished on the lead lap. Christian Lundgaard, my former prospect with Annie Thomas, was the last of them. 23 drivers finished the race. And then 4 drivers, as I documented, finished out of the race. They were Roman Grosjean, Marcus Ericsson, Stingray Robb, and Marcus Armstrong. So that is a tough break for those 2 drivers. So what did I think about St. Pete and Saudi Arabia? First of all, I want to start with Saudi Arabia. I thought Saudi Arabia was a game changer. It reminds me of Baku a little bit, that if we get like a safety car, it will make this race become a game changer. And, you know, when we talk about the game changer on a street circuit, you know, you want a safety car. It was not that boring. It was okay. I wouldn't say it wasn't that amazing, but at least, you know, they had a good race. And remember, all of these drivers raced on Saturday night for 2 consecutive weeks. Of course, they raced Saturday night in Bahrain because of the holiday that started on Monday. They also raced Saturday for Saudi Arabia due to a holiday this month. And then now they're going to have an extra day of travel to go from Saudi Arabia to Australia, which, by the way, will be in 2 weeks. That will be the home race of both Oscar Piastri and Daniel Ricciardo. It's going to be a very exciting race. We'll definitely talk more about that next week on the show. Let's go into rating the weekend. I will get everybody else's thoughts on the show and thoughts on the two global races in just a minute. Let's start with Saudi Arabia. From 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the greatest. I thought it was a very interesting race. I thought it was, if it wasn't for that Lance Stroll that brought out a safety car, this would have not been a good rating. But people were saying it was terrible and yada, yada, yada. Well, here's one thing I could say about that. At least you got a safety car, unlike Bahrain, where nothing basically happened in that race. So, I thought it was a good race. I thought it was a very calm, collective race, other than the Lance Stroll incident. I know Sergio Perez did serve his 5-second time penalty. A couple of things I also need to point out in the F1 results. I'll get to that in just a second. I thought, the racing was pretty tamed. It was pretty good. So I'm going to give the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix a 7. Wasn't great, wasn't spectacular. It was a good race. It was pretty good. One thing to mention, Kevin Magnussen originally would have finished 11th, but he was given 2 penalties of 10 seconds each. One for leaving the track and gaining advantage, and the other one I think was like track limit. So there you go. He would have finished 11th, but it wouldn't matter because he would have been outside the points anyway. So yeah. So that is where I would rate that, and everybody else will rate the rest of the races coming up as always, and we'll see how that will play out in the next couple of weeks. So yay, as I'm going to go ahead and get everything ready to go for our NASCAR predictions. Let me go ahead and take care of this real quickly. Zachary Taylor won, of course, the Xfinity Series, excuse me. Trucks are off boils. I don't know what the flip I'm doing. Anyway, but trucks were off. Xfinity and Cup took part. We'll actually discuss that in just a minute. We're going to go over the global standings, but first I got to take care of this matter that needs to be taken care of. That way I'm not forgetting to do it when we're getting ready to talk about this weekend at Bristol, which we'll get to in just a second. After that, we'll have the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Only one driver is on the injury report, which we'll talk about that in just a second. Actually, I think it's the same 2 drivers. I haven't heard if Chris Hacker has been cleared to race. I haven't heard his timeline as far as his injury. Actually, let's just do the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Chris Hacker is still recovering from his injury from on his way to Daytona, so not sure what his timetable is. I hope he will come back to the track fairly soon. And, I wish him good luck as far as his recovery is concerned. Kyle, it was, let me look here real quickly. IndyCar. So let me see. It was David Malukas. He's expected to be back for the next points paying event, and also I think he's going to be back in time for the Thermal Club, which will be an all-star event. I don't know if I'm going to count that for a points for points for that weekend or not. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm probably going to say no because I'm going to just say we're just going to do the regular season as planned. So, not sure about Chris Hacker's timeline if he's going to be racing this season or when he's going to be cleared to race and all that. So we're just going to have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. But we wish both of them a speedy recovery. So yeah, that's something we're going to mention it. So yes. That is the Mercy Orthopedics injury report. Slow down by an arthritis, a broken bone, or a sports injury. Count on Mercy to help restore your orthopedic life. Call Mercy Orthopedics today. Mercy and the PCS Ray, a wonderful partnership for over a decade. So yes. Let me see if anybody else wants to come join the VC for that. I'm just going to go ahead and go straight to the global standings while we're waiting for any panelists to join us. And so far, there is no changes in the global standings, minus Zachary Taylor, who is now tied for Aaron Hornish and Dylan Cunningham with 23 points. Other than that, no other changes in the standings. Crenshaw still leads the points by 1 over Cody Smart, Heather Galloway. 2 points over Ekstrom, Dalton Jacobs, Sylvia Cunningham. 3 points over Aaron Horst, Dylan Cunningham, Zachary Taylor. 4 points over Hawkins, Rebecca Hawkins to be more specific. Prudence Martindale, Hadley Martindale. Hadley Martindale's 5 points back. I'm 6 points back of the points lead. Maisie Creighton, Jocelyn Hawkins are 7 points back in the deal. My 3 girls, Betty Johnson, Annie Thomas, Luna Farmer, have 18 points. Margaret Jacobs, 17. Captain Frank, 14. And Sean is 13 points behind the leader. So, let me double check that, Cody. If Cody wants to come join me and do his thoughts. Yeah, so... Yeah, got some paint schemes that will be coming out. Little off topic, I need to mention this while we're waiting for our panelists to join. Bobby Pierce has been suspended from the World of Outlaws for 30 days for failing a tire test after a race at Volusia. Dirt car racing is also suspending Devin Moreland, Kyle Brunson for the same penalties. Each will serve a 30-day suspension. So, not surprised about that. Daniel Suarez just released a awesome Jocks Outdoor car for what is this? Oh, for this weekend at Bristol. I will actually it's really a nice looking scheme if you ask me. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do a wrestling show. I may think about that with Sean because he's the only one that talks wrestling. So yeah. Let's talk. And speaking of Sean Art has joined me.
You suck, you know that.
Come again?
You suck.
Why?
You didn't give anybody any warning. Like
I was going to tell you all this because I was going to do a solo recap on Global is what I did, and then I was going to notify you when I'm ready to recap Phoenix. So yeah.
Well, nice going, you there.
Just give me the Duns hat, please.
No, you get a anvil on top of your head.
Oh, what?
An anvil.
What's that for?
Because I feel like it.
Oh, toilet land. Anyway, IndyCar from St. Pete. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. So So those are my ratings. Real quickly before we recap Phoenix, what were your thoughts on the two races, Sean? And what would you rate Saudi Arabia and St. Pete?
Saudi Arabia, I thought it was an okay race. Not awesome, but it wasn't terrible. So to put it decently, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Makes sense.
IndyCar, very interesting, especially the start. Man, somebody hold my beer. That was crazy. But I'm gonna give it an 8.
Solid rating, if you ask me. All right, let's go ahead and begin recapping Phoenix. Oh boy, how in the world do we explain this one? Especially the Xfinity race. The race was good until it got controversy, and I'll tell you why in a second. First caution of the race, on lap number 6, the 11 of Josh Williams got together, made contact. Jeremy Clements ran into the back of Dawson Cram, which collected Patrick Emmerling in the process. Clements and Williams continued on. So did the 4 Dawson Cram, but unfortunately the 07 of Patrick Emmerling, ended up finishing out of the race, or in my famous terms, smelled what The Rock was cooking. And The Rock was cooking a big Mexican party, if you ask me. Well, you can blame Elijah because I stole that from public domain. So, the rest of stage 1 was calm and clean. It was won by Chandler Smith. He won the stage. Cole Custer was second. Third was Justin Allgaier. Fourth, Eric Almirola was 4th. 5th was Riley Herbst. 6th was Brandon Jones. 7th was Sam Mayer. 8th was Corey Heim. Finishing 9th was John Hunter Nemechek, and completed the top 10 was Jesse Love. Excuse me. Stage 2 went calm and clean. And it was won by, Cole Custer. Second was Justin Allgaier. Third, Eric Almirola. Fourth was Chandler Smith. More on him later on the show. Riley Herbst ended up 5th. 6th was John Hunter Nemechek. 7th was Sam Mayer. 8th was Jesse Love. 9th, Brandon Jones. And 10th, Austin Hill. And I said the race was good until it got controversy, and that controversy was Hailie Deegan got loose in turns 1 and 2. She lightly tapped the wall, but NASCAR just hit the trigger button and say, "Oh no, that's a caution." When all of us just looked at NASCAR and go, "Really? That's the caution?" So, yeah. What happened was that caution ended up triggering a 13-car pileup just after the restart. And it collected Parker Ratzlaff, Hailie Deegan, Jeff Burton, John Hunter Nemechek, Cole Custer, Sam Mayer. The 44 this week being by Brendan Poole. Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, who got through that wreck somehow. William Byron, and the 43 of Ryan Ellis, who forgot where the brake pedal was. That brought out a 11-minute red flag. And then everybody made their final stops just to make it on fuel. And we all thought Justin Allgaier was going to pull away and win the race. But with 5 laps to go, he cut a left rear tire down, spun, hit the inside wall. Allgaier was visibly not happy, as he just yanked the spoiler in anger, which, well, I can tell you that's frustration at its best. And unfortunately, Justin Allgaier ended up 29th instead of winning the race, which brought out a NASCAR overtime. And Chandler Smith, when it was all said and done, took home the call 811 before you dig, every time 200 at Phoenix. So your results were Chandler Smith, the winner. Jesse Love, second. Sheldon Creed, third. Austin Hill, fourth. Cole Custer, fifth. Nice top 10 run for SVG after his engine problem at Las Vegas. Brandon Jones, 7th. Parker Kligerman, 8th. Sammy Smith, 9th. Anthony Alfredo, 10th. Your other notables, Leland Honeyman, nice run for him in 11th. Blaine Perkins, 13th. BJ McLeod, 14th. Kyle Weatherman was 16th. Nick Leach, 17th. JJ Yaley, 19th. They will have their crew chief back this in the upcoming race at Kona. Yep, thank you, Sean. Brendan Poole, 20th. Ryan Ellis, who couldn't find the brake pedal, 21st. Riley Herbst, 24th. Kyle C, 25th. Josh Williams, 27th. Justin Allgaier, 29th. Frankie Muniz finished in 30th with a vibration problem. So that's a tough break for him. Haley Deegan, 33rd. And then, of course, Patrick Emmerling finished in last. 28 of the 38 drivers saw the checker flag. 10 drivers failed to finish in the Xfinity Series race. Then the Cup race came around for the Shriners Children's 500K, and that race was pretty interesting. First incident of the day: Derek Kraus got loose. Nobody made contact with him. He spun out. He collected Austin Cindric and Austin Dillon. Dillon had some pretty significant damage on his number 3. Austin Cindric was done for the day 6 laps in. When he hit the, I think it was the 16, it did some damage to the left front suspension where it towed out to the left, which is not good because it shouldn't be towed out to the left. Austin Dillon got his repairs. So did Derek Kraus, and they soldiered on as planned. The rest of stage 1 was calm and clean. It was won by Tyler Reddick. He won the stage. Second was Ty Gibbs. Third was Denny Hamlin. Fourth was Eric Jones. Fifth, Chase Elliott. William Byron was 6th. 7th was Ryan Blaney. 8th, Michael McDowell. Chase Briscoe finished 9th. And 10th was Martin Truex Jr. Stage 2 was also calm and clean. That was won by Christopher Bell. Second was Tyler Reddick. Third, Denny Hamlin. Fourth was William Byron. Running out the top 5 was MTJ Martin Truex Jr. Ryan Blaney got 6th. 7th was Chase Elliott. 8th was Noah Gragson. 9th was Brad Keselowski. And 10th, Chris Buescher. Just after that, we all thought it was going to be boring, but then on lap 197, Kyle Busch, who had a pretty bad day, spun off turn number 2, and in the words of Sean, did his favorite line.
Spinella.
Yay. But Kyle Busch didn't have any damage on the car. And then Derek Kraus's bad day got worse. Contact between John Hunter Nemechek and Joey Logano collected the 7 of Corey LaJoie, the 77 of Carson Hocevar, Josh Berry, and as I mentioned, Derek Kraus. Kraus, Logano, and LaJoie all finished out of the race, so a tough break for them. In the process, everybody else that was involved continued on as planned. And then the final caution, Denny Hamlin got loose underneath Tyler Reddick. He ended up spinning, which he did in the words of Sean, a spinala.
Why did you not make me
Okay, say it, Sean.
Spinala?
Okay, there you go. But Denny Hamlin continued on, and that was it. And that was the last caution of the race because the rest of the race was calm and clean. MTJ had to pit late in that race after leading 55 laps, hoping for a late race yellow. He never got it. And Christopher Bell gets his 7th career win and first of 2024. And also first points paying win for Toyota. Christopher Bell was your winner. Chris Buescher was 2nd. Ty Gibbs 3rd. Brad Keselowski was 4th. Ryan Blaney 5th. Ross Chastain 6th. Martin Truex Jr. 7th. 8th was Michael McDowell. Chase Briscoe 9th. Tyler Reddick finished in 10th. Your other notables: Noah Gragson 12th, Daniel Suarez 13th, Carson Hocevar 15th, Todd Gilliland 17th. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, 19th and 20th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the weirdest Coca-Cola car in the world finished 21st. And all the way down to 36 was Austin Cindric. Only 4 of the 36 starters did not see the checker flag. Everybody else saw the checker flag. 32 cars finished on track. Only Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was the last of the 21 drivers that finished on the lead lap. So, Mr. Sean, what would you say about the Phoenix weekend?
I'm going to say this. Xfinity was a bit more interesting than Cup. Because, really, two things. One, the NASCAR Xfinity Series officials have proven they are drunk.
On Fitzwater's beer.
Yep. Number 2, another case of bad year.
Oh, I knew we were going to rip Goodyear on this awesome program.
I had to, because seriously, that's Goodyear's fault for that garbage.
Yeah, definitely I felt bad for Justin Allgaier. He could have won that race, but you can blame bad year tires, if you ask me.
Yeah, blame them for that. And I'm sorry, the Cup race was boring.
Until stage 3. It was one of those races that was kind of meh until stage 3 when then all hell broke loose. I'm like, okay. But
that no sense.
Well, it was kind of one of those typical Phoenix races. We'll just say that.
Yeah, but whatever.
Of course, Sean and I have already rated the Xfinity and Cup races, so yeah. Let's see here. I have the standings, which here are the standings as we enter this week's race for Bristol, which I can't wait to talk about Bristol. Cody Smart is still the points leader, but he lost a lot of points to Zachary Taylor. Cody has 1,831. Taylor is second at 1,652. Senor Sean is still happy he's still beating me because I want to lose to Senor Sean and Mario. He is third with almost 1,600 points, so he's nearly reeling in Zachary Taylor. Sean's sister Jessie is not too far behind. She has 533, not 53. I don't know why I said 53. I'm having one of those days, okay?
Don't get into it, Chad.
I already got it on. Oh, thank you, Blue Junior. And then Captain Frank is still in the triple digits with 596 points. I'm having problems with this Tuesday deal, so yeah. But I'm going to do your solo predictions because I'm looking ahead to the Sao Paulo E-Prix. For Formula E, for me, I think it's going to be an interesting race as they're back for the first time in 6 weeks. So I can't wait to see what kind of race we're in store for in Formula E. And I'm also just going to throw this out. I'm going to have my drivers share my predictions with me. Yeah, so I can't wait to tell you who I pick for Formula E. I actually need to go to Wikipedia because if I pick somebody that's too easy, then I'm going to get another dunce hat on top of that. So, yeah. So, you all know.
And I start laughing. And
yeah, you have my permission to laugh because you're the one that gets paid for to laugh.
I don't get paid for garbage. What do you mean?
Well, because the producers want you to get lots and lots of money every time I derp or get a dunce hat, so that's why they love you, Sean. Do need to mention Sebastian Buemi did withdraw from the E-Prix, so I don't know how Cody wants to view it as far as who is too easy for stay away from, because after all, it was a double header.
I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that up to Cody for global. All right, I'm going to steal Taylor's method for this solo predictions. My driver to stay away from, he's not too easy because he finished in the points. Mitch Evans. My dark horse is let's see, who is a driver that needs to bounce back? I'm going to say Sam Bird. And my driver to win, Formula E is trying to make it 4 for 4. In winners, let's see. I'm going to take Maxi Gunter as my winner. If my phone would like to not derp on me. And I also gave the machine at my job a dunce hat because why not? So there is my predictions. I've already gone over the standings. So there's one thing left to do, and that's where Sean gets to come in. It's time to preview Bristol, not the dirt track, but the concrete Bristol that we all have fallen in love, and we love Bristol Motor Speedway. This weekend, the good old trucks are back. Xfinity is off this weekend. Also, should mention, I didn't mention this yesterday on the IMSA podcast, but Jesse Love is racing at Sebring, and we'll have a much deeper analysis on that on the IMSA podcast next week. So hope you will tune in for that. I do wish all the Xfinity Series drivers that are racing at Sebring good luck. So, yes. So this weekend, Senor Sean, is the Truck Series. If my stupid phone would like to cooperate, thank you very much. It is time to preview the Truck Series race. You can catch the Weather Guard Truck Boxes Truck Race. It should be 200, but we're just going to live with that. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1, you can listen on Sirius XM Radio and also the MRN Radio, the voice of NASCAR. There are only 36 drivers on the entry list, which means all 36 will make the show. That means nobody will be loading up, and in the words of NASCAR, will be loading up and going home. They're in the show. Let me tell you who is in what rides, and we know who is not too easy. William Sawalich is in the one truck for Tricon. Kyle Busch is in the 7 this week, to nobody's surprise. Trey Hutchins is making his first start of the year in the 14. If there was more than one truck, he would have been the only truck that would have gone home. Same with the 90, which, by the way, will be Justin Carroll. Those two are not too easy for our female drivers, for our drivers, as far as the driver to stay away from is concerned. Let's see here. Keith McGee's in the 22 this week. We saw Brett Holmes. Gregory Ellie as crew chief, the driver of the 33. That's not going to get mentioned because he has the dumbest name in racing, and I'll let Sean say his favorite name.
Lois Allen.
Thank you, Sean. Bailey Curry's in the 41. Matt Mills in the 42 this week. Looking for that. Caden Honeycutt's driving the 45. Connor Jones is this week's driver in the 66. I will have to double check with Cody if he is too easy. I doubt he's too easy. Raja Karut, Stephen Parsons in the 75 this week. Let's see, going further on down, Zane Smith's in the 91 this week for MHR, which is McNanley Higgleman Racing. Excuse me. And then Mason Maggio for Floridian Motorsports. Yes?
Hey, you were coughing there.
Yes, I'm going to blame allergies for this shit. But I'm going to be okay because guess what? Yummy water. That's what I have to drink. I'm not doing sodas because I'm safe and I'm having yummy water.
Anyway.
All right. Now, let's see. Who's going first between Sean and Jesse? That's going to be the trick. Let's see. Well, guess what? Jesse's going first, as they say, ladies first. So, yeah.
Don't you mean the dumb lady?
Oh! I am not questioning that. Thank you very much. Let's go on.
You did question it, you derp.
Okay. So who is Jesse Art's favorite for the good old Trunks?
Well, let me look over here. Hold on. Where are you? Okay. Let's get on over to the...
Also, Cup has 36 drivers, so that means, well, it's only nobody going home, so yay. Woo, it's cold. My water.
All right. One. Let me go on over here.
Oh, you're looking at the entry list that I put in your server. Okay, gotcha.
All right. My sister's favorite. I'm gonna let her take Stuart Friesen.
Stewie! Everybody's favorite friend, Stewie! I love Stewie. Stay away from him.
Or stay away from. Gonna go over to the NASCAR app, so give me a second.
I'm gonna see it. Let me see from while you're doing that, I'm gonna look up on that's not Twitter, you derp. Thank you. That's Twitter. Let's see here. Let me check Joseph Strigley so I can figure out who's driving the 90. I have a feeling it's okay. There we go. That's the one I want. Of course, everyone had mixed reviews on that. And also, I have to say this for AJ Allmendinger, you're going to Figure Shield because of that sponsorship.
Oh, come on!
What?
Really?
Well, he's driving the Mountain Dew Cheetos car. Let's see.
Mountain Dew. That's a disgusting combination.
Yes, it is.
Let that be.
We'll mention this. Connor Zilic will be running 4 races in the Xfinity Series that will begin at Watkins Glen. This will happen after he turns 18, so that's good. Oops. That is not what I wanted you to do, you derping phone.
All right. I know who my sister wants to take for stay away from.
And that would be?
Ty Majeski.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were going to pick Ty Majeski for Jesse.
Her dark horse.
Alright. Give me a second. Ty Majeski. Christian Eckes. Alright, her sleeper.
Sleeper? I would say Chase Purdy.
One person that's watching here on Twitch as of this taping of our awesome programming. And long shot.
Long shot. How about Connor Jones?
Yeah, Connor Jones. All right, your turn, senor.
All right. My favorite. I select Ben Rhodes.
Ooh.
Which I'm calling it the streak is over for trucks.
All right. Excuse me. Stay away from.
Stay away from Matt Crafton.
I will mention Sean can view his methods for the LTR predictions if he so chooses.
Sorry, I'm sorry. That will not work for me.
even though that was a good offer. Who is your dark horse?
Yeah. Dark horse. Roger Carruth.
Your most recent winner.
I say he has another good week.
And sleeper.
Sleeper. Nick Sanchez.
Love to see Sanchez get his first win of the season to keep that Chevy streak going. And long shot.
I'm gonna make someone mad.
Oh no! By the time you're watching this, to the person that we made you mad, we're sorry.
I'm not.
In the words of Sean's never sorry to you all.
Hey, Danny.
Yes.
I know who my long shot is.
Oh, don't tell me it's the dumbest name in racing.
Wallace Allen!
That means I'm not good. That means when I get ready to get ready to go over the deal, then somebody's going to get offended at me for doing that. So I'll just say that means when I do the points, that means the pick that I'm not going to mention. But anyway, let me.
You have to mention it. That is not fair.
Speaking of picks, I will mention my picks for trucks. Who do I want for a favorite? I'm gonna go William Sawalich as my favorite. Oh yeah, William Sawalich is another driver that is not too easy, but I'll have to get confirmation from Cody on that regard. Stay away from Jake Garcia. I definitely need some big points because I haven't been doing good. I'm probably not going to pick Lane Riggs because every time I pick Lane Riggs, two things happen. Either he crashes or has a problem. So probably I'm not going to pick him for this week, which is good. I'm going to take Matt Crafton as my dark horse. Sleeper. Here's a driver you should have picked. Tyler Ankrum as my sleeper. And my long shot, Kyle Busch. Legend has it Kyle Busch does well at Bristol and Trucks.
Is he on the entry list?
Yes, he is on the entry list.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake.
I knew Sean was going to say that when he saw the entry list.
I didn't know he was racing.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, you got that.
Sure.
Very talented.
I love Sean. All right, we're going to go to the Cup Series race. You can catch the Food City 500 this Sunday, barring any weather issues between now and then. The race will start at 3:30 Eastern Time on St. Patrick's Day. On Fox, you can also listen to the race on the Performance Racing Network and also Sirius XM NASCAR. Looking at the entry list for the Cup Series, we have this week AJ Allmendinger in the 16 car this week. Other than that, no other new drivers and all that, yada, yada, yada. So it's the typical 36 suspects that we're used to seeing every week, with the exception of the 16. So it's time for the Cup Series. So, as always, Jesse will do it first, then Sean, then myself. You all will like who I'm going to pick to win.
I think my sister forgets to wear green on St. Patrick's Day. So.
Yes, please wear green. If you don't, then Sean's going to do something very illegal to you.
No. I'm just gonna pinch you. I'm gonna pinch you in your heart.
And then they'll ask, "What was that for?" And then you'll say, "Why not?" All right. Who's your sister's favorite?
Hold on. Back to what you said. No, it's not because why not. It's because you're not wearing green.
I'm actually going to be wearing green all weekend, so that would count.
That would count, so I'm not going to get mad at you. But the first moment someone doesn't wear green, you get pinched.
Somebody better wear a green swimsuit if you're a female driver. What
did you just say?
Anywho, let's just go on to the favorite for your sister.
My sister's favorite.
That would be Jessie.
That would be a Jessie who likes to use the dad girl strategy.
Oh!
I'm so glad she can't hear me right now.
Then she's going to choke you to death, and then I'll be like, well, the best part is I caught that on the stream. So, anyway, back to the favorite part.
My sister's favorite. Why not? Joey Logano. What do you say about that?
I'm just going to go straight to the stay away from. That's it.
You're not going to say anything on that?
Nope. I know if this was LTR, people would be raging, including Jim Bob. So bleep you, Jim Bob. Anyway, stay away from.
Jim Bob's nothing more than a dead Hendrick fan.
No. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna go straight to the stay away from. That's it.
Stay away from for my sister. Well, this is gonna anger some people. She's picking Chris Buescher.
Oh. You're gonna like who I picked for favorite.
A dark horse. It's Harrison Burton.
Excuse me?
Are you sure about that?
Why'd she hit you, senor?
I don't know.
Sleeper?
The sleeper. Austin Cindric.
And long shot.
A long shot. Corey LaJoy.
Oh yeah, Corey LaJoy's first DNF since Talladega of 2022, the fall race. That was 44 races ago. That was actually the longest streak among active drivers, and that streak came to an end this past Sunday. Now your turn, senor. Who do you got for Bristol as your favorite for Cup?
For my favorite Cup? You know what? This might be an interesting pick. It might make sense. Chase Briscoe.
All right. Stay away from.
Stay away from Daniel Suarez.
Also, the Cup Series drivers who are running the intermediate package for this weekend at Bristol, as well as the race at Dover. Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. Kyle Reddick.
Oh, stupid keyboard. I wanted that R capitalized, you derping hyena. Sleeper!
Sleeper? You know what? John had a name check.
And long shot.
Hamrick.
Oh, good one. All right. You know it's time for my picks. I think Sean had to go do something. All right, my favorite. I'm gonna go with the guy who won the last time we were here, Chris Buescher. I want to see Sean be so happy that Chris Buescher wins the race and gives RFK Racing a spot into the playoffs. I would love to see that happen for Chris Buescher. My stay away from, it's a difficult choice because we have a lot of good picks that I could say are really drivers that don't do well at Bristol. But if I had to choose one, I'm going to say stay away from Noah Gragson. So I think that's when he's going to go back down to reality, in my personal opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see. As for my dark horse, I'm going to take Christopher Bell. Bell's really good on the short tracks. My sleeper, I'm going to go with Buescher's teammate, Brad Keselowski. And my long shot, William Byron. Why'd you hurt yourself, Sean?
Why not?
So to recap, Sean, on the
I
picks.
don't want to. No. Just finish your picks.
Yeah, I already finished them, you derp.
Well, I don't want to have a recap.
Yes. All right, our picks are made. Everybody else's picks will be down in the description below. So I'll try to make sure to have that down there. But Sean, any final thoughts before we get the Bristol party started?
All I'm going to say is, it's Bristol, baby. Ready for the Kanye.
You know what I'm ready for? Of course, it's short track racing, short track tempers could boil in a hurry, and I would love for tempers to boil because I would like to see a lot of punching and all that, and then say my line, then Sean would toss me out. As for
why do you want that?
Because why not? And so does Bucky. But as for Sao Paulo, it's going to be an interesting race to see a race on the street circuit. I don't know if they have ever raced at... No! That was not what I wanted, you derping hyena. I was going to say before that happened, they raced last year at this track. I think it's going to be an interesting race to see how this will play out. The Formula E race will be, I'm not sure if I did it'll probably be 2 points each, which could really shake up the standings. But it's going to be a very interesting race to see how these drivers will do at a track like this. Bristol is going to be fun. I love short track racing and short track tempers as far as that's concerned. Here's a look at our schedule coming up for the rest of the week. Next, after my fine television programming, a special documentary I'm going to be doing on the channel. You don't want to miss it. And of course, I will record it tomorrow I will record it after I get home from work. I don't know when. I think it'll be late Wednesday night is when I'm going to do this documentary. So, yeah, that would be tomorrow as of this taping, or today if you're watching this on YouTube. So, yeah. Sean and I are ready to take our score checks, but first I'm going to go ahead and finish up this awesome broadcast. We want to thank you guys a lot for joining us for this awesome episode of Triple P, as we're ready for a great race weekend of all. Reminder, next week is going to be different times because of the fact that we have wrestling coming up on my channel that will start next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Late night Monday will be the IMSA podcast, as I mentioned, to talk about Sebring. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. We will be back next week as always to recap Bristol, preview COTA, and other global events we have on the channel. As I said, remember the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud sponsor of Triple P and wants to remind all of our friends that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Together we can end DUI. Visit enduyok.com for more information. So yeah, if you guys like Triple P, be sure to give it a like. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, I highly recommend you do so in order to keep up with some wonderful content coming out in the near future, as well as future episodes of your favorite podcast coming throughout the rest of this week and onward to the next. And I can say we have survived another awesome week of this show. And thank you so much for watching. For Sean Art and his awesome friend Bucky, as well as my Bucky the Beaver, I'm Dean DeVos, aka PCS Ray Blue Hedgehog 26, signing off, saying you've been watching another broadcast of PCS Ray TV as we celebrate 14 years as the best center racing around the world since 2017. We'll see you guys next week for Triple P. Till then, see you later until the documentary at 11 p.m. Eastern Time later tonight. Until then, so long.